Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today, Bluefield, Virginia. This is Virginia Avenue, and right there, Dudley Memorial Mortuary. That's what I'm going to be talking about. Basically, the full length of this video. Right now, I am on East Street. I've turned off Virginia Avenue onto East Street, and then I'm going to be turning right onto Greer. I will be doing some turns around and coming back up here to this intermediate school, Graham Intermediate School. So you'll get a good look at it, but I really will not be talking about the intermediate school. This is going to be dedicated to Dudley, that funeral home back there, right as I turned the corner, Dudley Memorial Mortuary. Didn't it look like a church? Well, there's a reason for that. It was the oldest church in the Bluefields, founded in 1887, and it was the Emmanuel Lutheran. I found this great information on Dudley Memorial's website, and I'm just going to be pulling from that to give you some information about it. This church was here before there was the first school, before the formation of the city government, before water supply, before the first bank, before the first hospital. The history of Emmanuel should not begin without first discussing the decades prior to its founding. The persons most responsible for the beginning of this church and its continuance into the 20th century had their roots in southwestern Virginia, and particularly Tazewell County. The first Lutheran congregation in the area was organized by either Reverend Jacob Schur or Reverend Bonham in Burke's Garden. And that was in 1828. And there was ties to North Carolina and the Tennessee Synod, uh, with basically with the deacons and with John B. Floyd, that was later a trustee at the church, and he became the governor of Virginia's Secretary of War and Confederate General. George Spatcher, who died in 1847, Stephen Spatcher, who had signed an original petition in 1840 to form the Southwest Virginia Synod, was elected to fill the first vacancy. And in 1888, during the tenure as Emmanuel's first pastor, Reverend Joseph B. Griever founded the Wartburg Evangelical Lutheran Church in Bluefield, Virginia. And that's why there's Griever Road that we are on now. You've seen me turn around, right? When I got to Virginia Avenue, I turned around in the old Cottons building. But anyway, back talking about the church as we're pulling up into the Graham Intermediate. The congregation began worshiping in the Methodist Church and then in the chapel at Wartburg Seminary. In 1904, the cornerstone of a new frame building with adjoining Sunday school rooms were laid. Trustees were L.C. Cole, Thomas Peary, J.S. Carr, and on April 2nd, 1931, the membership merged with Emmanuel Lutheran Congregation. The Wartburg's bell was removed and placed in Emmanuel's steeple, where it is still in use. I didn't realize that it is still in use. 1952, the trustees sold the property. Subsequent to the sale, an addition of the church building was completed and Dudley Memorial Mortuary was established, and the only funeral home in America with an authentic church chapel. Isn't that neat? I had to share that, and that is basically directly from the Dudley Memorial website. I did cut out a little bit of what I was talking about just to have a little bit more time to talk about the school here. But yeah, that's Dudley, and that was right there at the beginning of the video. It's kind of hard to just talk about a place and as I'm driving by it, but there at the beginning of the video, you've seen the beautiful church. That's Dudley. So anyway, Graham Intermediate has, I think, about 230 some kids that go to school here. They've seen the little playground and stuff. There's even a gifted program here at this school. So I pulled up from the back side so you got to see one side of it. Now I came up this other steeper street so you get a good view of the school here. And that is just about the end of this video. I'm going to drive down and turn around, go back down Greer uh, Street just because, or I mean Griever, I said Greer, sorry about that, Griever Street. And now you know why Griever Street is called Griever Street, thanks to the Reverend Joseph B. Griever that was at the Lutheran Church where Dudley is now. And we'll continue on with another video at some point in time, probably just going down Virginia Avenue. I've got a few other videos to come out of Bluefield, Virginia, but I'll always be back in the area to film more. So anyway, this is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. And if you have a place that you'd like for me to record, give me a yell. I've still got a ton on my list to do, but I promise I will be getting to everybody as quick as I can. Talk to you all later.